Colleagues, I'm going to give you a quick update on the private sector work that we do. Myself, Mick Pimblett and Angela Montgomery divide the private sector up by the various companies, so the update will be based on each company. Beginning with PECS, access to the PECS contract north and south remains challenging. There is no formal recognition agreement in relation to these groups of staff. However, the POA have had success in representing members who work on this contract in disciplinary hearings and grievances. Even without formal recognition, the membership across the PECS contract has doubled since May 2019. The Mighty ICE contract, in relation to the Mighty in-country escorting contract, working relationships between the POA and Mighty have strengthened. The POA have further developed the seat on the Mighty JCNC monthly UK-wide meeting, with POA representatives attending from France, England, Scotland and Northern Ireland. POA members continue to provide support to Border Force and UK immigration services on the South Coast operation out of Dover's Tughaven and the Kent intake unit. POA members will work on the new temporary Dover Jet foil facility currently under construction. Formal recognition agreements were signed in 2020, granting the POA recognition for DCO and DCOM grades within Mighty's Operational Control Centre, and an uplift of members has been realised through this agreement. POA membership across this contract has risen 78% since May 2019. The POA engage with Mighty each year through collective bargaining on pay. The 2019 pay award was the second year of a pay deal designed to standardise several existing allowances and former pay agreements. The arrangements carried into 2019 represented a minimum rise of 1.8%, but some individuals got significantly more due to being uplifted into the more generous London Plus banding. The 2020 pay award saw Mighty open with a remit for a simple no-strings-attached pay rise. However, following collective bargaining, a 2% offer was put to our members, with a further proposal to uplift staff working in Kent and in France into the London Plus rate. For those members, this equated to a 17% pay rise. The 21 pay award again saw Mighty request a single-year pay deal free from any workforce reform. Evidence was submitted and a series of negotiations took place that culminated in an offer from the employer of 2.2% for all grades, including the newly recognised bargaining unit at Mighty's Operational Control Centre. Sodexo. Sodexo currently operate 4 prison establishments in England and Wales: HMP Northumberland, HMP Forest Bank, HMP Peterborough and HMP Bronzefield. HMP Northumberland is the only Sodexo establishment in which the POA have recognition rights, but despite this we continue to represent members in Forest Bank, Peterborough and Bronzefield in grievances and disciplinaries. The local committee at HMP Northumberland continue to provide high standards of representation to 263 members there. Like most establishments in the public sector, HMP Northumberland's local committee has been involved in the implementation of SOPs and EDMs in relation to COVID. They're currently working on stage 1 of regime progression, and they've done a great job in agreeing safe on-wing activity. In addition to COVID work, the committee have been actively involved in reprofiling key work disputes, internal disputes resolution, health and safety work, job evaluation, and work in relation to WOMIC and a new Corday, which fits in with all the principles of the POA regarding a safe working environment. The local membership have also recently been balloted on pay awards for 21. Following protracted negotiations, the branch agreed with proposals from Sodexo, which included a 1.5% uplift, BUPA healthcare, life assurance cover of £5,000, a will writing service and a 24/7 GP service. We would like to thank the local branch at Northumberland for both their support today and the hard work throughout the COVID pandemic. Serco currently operate prison establishments in England and Wales. They operate HMP Ashfield, HMP Doncaster, HMP Thameside, HMP Dovegate and Loudham Grange. In addition to these establishments and the inter-prison transfer contract, Serco also operate Yarlswood and Gatwick immigration removal centres. Gatwick Immigration Removal Centre is the only workplace in which the POA have recognition rights, but despite this we continue to represent members in all areas of the Serco justice sector in grievances and disciplinaries. Gatwick Immigration Removal Centre was recently TUPE'd across to Serco from G4S, and this involved the transferring across of recognition rights. The local committee were involved in all aspects of the TUPE transfer with the input of our solicitors Thompsons and the local committee. They should be commended for protecting our members' terms and conditions as the transfer went smoothly. The employees at Gatwick were obviously impressed with the branch committee's work regarding this and other issues, as we've seen their membership grow from 75 members to 223 members since Conference 19. The branch committee should also be commended for this recruitment of members. The branch committee are currently involved in pay negotiations, and to date in their submission they've included that all staff within the remit group to receive a consolidated pay increase of 5%, introduction of a long service increment equating to £2,500 on top of base rate pay for all staff with 5 years or more service at Gatwick IRCs, uniform frontline staff to be paid a one-off bonus of 5% throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, showing operational commitment, bravery and resilience, uniform staff who volunteer to train in a specialism to be paid a consolidated annual allowance of £500 per specialism, all bank holidays to be paid at double for all staff within the collective bargaining group. The introduction of attendance bonus of £500 for non-sickness across a 12 calendar month period. The introduction of 1 week's paid special leave for bereavement of an immediate family member. Serco have responded, stated they're willing to offer a 3.25% pay uplift and are willing to agree to the introduction of 1 week's special leave for bereavement of an immediate family member. These talks are ongoing and will eventually go to ballot of the membership who are not subject to 127 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994. G4S, there's been an increase in POA membership within the G4S estate, and having had recognition at Oakwood for some time, the POA has obtained and signed off on recognition at HMP Five Wells, which is a new prison being built on the site of the former HMP Wellingborough prison. The prison is due to be handed over to G4S in November. The POA have made an initial visit and handed out approximately 50 application forms. We've had interest from prospective members on the ITC to become committee members and would hope to have a committee up and running by the time the prison starts receiving prisoners in February 22. There is an opportunity for us to increase the POA membership in the private sector and to influence the development of the private sector in a positive way, as on some issues they are more open to change, such as reasonable adjustments, bullying and discrimination. The POA have formally requested recognition at both HMP Park and HMP Oak Hill. This is currently being considered by G4S, and it's hoped that this will be progressed as quickly as possible in order to have an input into both the policies and their implementation in the same way that occurs at HMP Oakwood. The increase in number of POA members at Park has required a significant input from the POA in terms of representation and support. There have been numerous challenges for the staff at Oak Hill, the last remaining detention and training centre, due to difficulties with the YCS contract, low levels of staffing, result in high levels of violence. The POA have supported members in this establishment, both in hearings, providing advice, requesting discretionary payments from the company and access to our welfare fund where necessary. There is a high level of representation required at Oakwood. This takes up much of the time of the committee, who do a sterling job in supporting members in what have been very challenging times. There have been wins in terms of overtime payments, where staff have worked additional time due to a failure of management to ensure that the day shift leaves on time as per their contractual hours. There is an agreement that facilitates the granting and taking of ad hoc leave. There is also an agreement that those unable to take all leave can be carried over for an additional 3 months. There have been pay increases of 2% and 1.2%. Generous overtime rates are now at £25 an hour on the basis of relating to a 40 hours per month contract. Members have been awarded additional payments for taking on the responsibility of family liaison officer, act assessor, The employer offered and the POA accepted training on well-being of staff, which was a very positive experience. Currently, work is being undertaken with G4S corporately and locally with the POA to create a robust health and safety culture. Challenging unfair treatment, discrimination, bullying and harassment has occurred, and there's been progress in obtaining good outcomes for individuals and collectively with perpetrators dealt with, ensuring the workplace is a safer place. Thank you.